guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Kotobukiya Star Wars ArtFX Plus 1/10 scale Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. That's right, it's the second Boba Fett to come in the ArtFX Plus line. You might remember that way back when the ArtFX Plus line started, we had an Empire Strikes Back version of Boba Fett. Now everyone's favorite bounty hunter comes in a second form based on the way he appeared in Return of the Jedi. So Boba Fett comes in the same style black box that all of the Star Wars ArtFX Plus figures have come in. It just has a great image of the figure on the front. And then the back of the box shows off some different display options for your Boba Fett, as well as gives a description of the character. Now inside that box you'll find a big plastic tray that houses all of the different parts that you need to put together the actual Boba Fett statue. So let's go ahead and pull that guy out and we'll take a look at him here. Now, if you've picked up any of the other ArtFX Plus figures, or if you've seen any of my reviews before, then you pretty much know what to expect with these. It's a snap-together model kit, so it just all fits together very nicely, very snugly. There's no actual modeling skills needed. You don't need any glue, you don't need to cut anything, and you don't need to paint anything. It's already pre-painted and ready to be displayed. Now there is some minor assembly required when you pull them out of the box for the first time. It does include a sheet of instructions that's got some nice little pictures there that shows you how to put it all together. It's very simple to do, but the instructions are there to guide you through the process if you need them. So you've got just the body by itself. It's already got the legs and everything attached and pre-posed, so the only thing you really need to do is assemble your arms and your head, and then he's ready to go. Now, Boba Fett here includes two sets of arms that will give you two different posing options with the figure here. So we'll go ahead and start with one pose, and then we'll swap it out so we can see what the other one looks like. But very simple. So the head just snaps right onto the ball joint there. Just give it a nice firm press, and it snaps into place. And all the joints are nice and snug and everything on there too. And one of the things that's great is it is on a ball joint. So he does have minor articulation in the head there, which will give you the option to kind of move his head around, display him in some different ways. The arms all have pegs that are shaped specifically for the holes that they fit in. So there's only one way you can get them plugged in. And you can hear how it is kind of a nice, tight, snug fit. It does fit in there really nicely, and it holds on very firm once you get it in, so you don't have to worry about it falling out. Boba Fett here does have the little Wookiee Scout braids that you need to make sure you put where his right arm is going to go. So you kind of want to set those over the hole, the peg hole there, and then you want to put the arm right over those. It is a little tough to kind of line those up, so you definitely want to make sure you get those lined up nice there, and there we go. We've got our Boba Fett ready for display. Now, Boba Fett does include the square black magnetic base. This is one thing that all of the ArtFX Plus figures from Kotobukiya includes. It's a very nice display base that is just magnetic. All of the figures have these great little magnet pieces on the bottom of their feet. That way they just lock right onto the base. There's no pegs or peg holes or anything like that. And what's great about that is it allows you to be able to display them anywhere you want to on this base. Plus, if you have multiple ArtFX figures, you can line up all the bases together. You can kind of display them however you need to. That way, if you need them to kind of cross over on bases, you need to fit it for your shelf better, it's a great way to display them. See, it's got a great hold there. It's not too powerful, so it like sticks real hard, but it sticks just enough so it holds him up. You don't have any balance issues. He will stand up great. I'm a big fan of those magnetic bases. I think those are very nice and work a lot better than pegs usually do. So let's go ahead and take a look at the overall design of Boba Fett here. You can see he's got a fantastic paint job going on. It's one thing that Kotobukiya is very well known for. It's a very lifelike little replication of the Boba Fett costume in the smaller 7-inch scale form. You can see he's got great paint job there, lots of great detailing going on. His costume looks very worn. He's got all of the metal scratches with the paint scratched off and everything on the helmet. You've got the little insignia such as the mammoth skull insignia on his left shoulder. You got the little Boba Fett logo on his right breast there. And you can see the way that the clothes kind of fold and everything, and the pants, it's all very realistic. It's a great look up and down from head to toe. It's an awesomely detailed piece. Now, with these first set of arms that we've got on Fett there, he's in that nice classic pose. You remember him from Return of the Jedi on the skiff when he's getting ready to fire his little wrist rocket at Luke Skywalker. So that's what he's got going on there. He's got his hand held out with the little rocket on his wrist bracer. He's holding his arm in position. And like I said before, you can kind of rotate that head a little bit. So if there's different ways you want to pose the head around to get some good display options out of him, it's very easy to do just that. Now, he does come with that second set of arms, so we can swap this out. If we don't want him posed ready to fire the little wrist rocket at him, we can actually pose him holding his blaster rifle. So we'll swap out both of the arms here, put in the new arms, and now in his right hand he's holding his blaster, while in his left hand he's using to kind of brace it in place. And again, this is another classic Boba Fett pose taken right out of Return of the Jedi. So it works terrifically. It's really cool how you can get two of these classic, iconic Boba Fett poses out of just these two sets of arms here. So it gives you some displayability options. You can decide which way is the preferable way to display your Boba Fett figure. And he's ready for battle against Luke Skywalker. Now, I did mention earlier that this is the second Boba Fett figure that has been released in Kotobukiya's ArtFX Plus line. So let's go ahead and pull out the other one for comparison time. That way we can take a look at the two side by side. Because you might be wondering why you might want a second Boba Fett. Of course, aside from the fact that they are in two completely different poses, there were differences in the costumes between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And Kotobukiya has done a terrific job of really differentiating the two figures and making some nice screen-accurate costumes. So for instance, you'll notice that the jumpsuit that he's wearing is different colors. The new Return of the Jedi one is a much more gray color, while the Empire Strikes Back was a little bit of a light blue. The blaster that he's holding is two completely different blasters. The little cape that he's wearing is a different color. And you'll even notice that the jetpacks are designed differently. They got different styles, different colors going on there. So these are definitely two very different figures. So that way you can display both of the very iconic versions of Boba Fett right there on your shelf. Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. We now have both screen versions in the ArtFX Plus line. So overall, it's a very cool piece. If you're a big fan of Star Wars, you're a big Boba Fett guy, or you just love Kotobukiya's ArtFX Plus line, I would definitely recommend picking this guy up and checking him out. So for more information on Kotobukiya and all of their products, make sure you visit www.kotous.com. And then find them on Facebook and give them a like at facebook.com/Kotobukiya. Until next time,